Babakuna ka ba? 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 Vaccination for the nation, no more isolation. With vaccination, babakuna ka ba? 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 Paturok, paturok, paturok.
You are watching the multi-awarded Radio Bandido TV on Channel 224 Sky Cable and TV Plus boxes. Simulcast on DZRJ 8:10 a.m. Informing, advising, and entertaining the Filipinos and OFWs around the world. Streaming live on www.facebook.com/DZRJ 8:10 a.m. or on YouTube, channel RJAM News. To all Teleradio Bandido viewers and listeners, you can now watch Teleradio Bandido on our new YouTube channel, RJAM News. Hit the subscribe button and like the video. Don't forget to click the bell icon so you get notified when a new video gets uploaded. Don't miss out on our dynamite lineup. Education Radio, hosted by Pia Morato, is on Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Teleradio Bandido, Channel 224 Sky Cable, TV Plus boxes, digital free-to-air Channel 29, Facebook.com/DZRJ 8:10 a.m. and YouTube channel RJAM News. This brings service to all educators and learners of every age. The program guests include secretaries, dignitaries, ambassadors, lawmakers, professors, volunteers, and heroes, all dedicated to contribute to this valuable advocacy. We take the streets to the classroom and the classroom to the streets. The Observer, Pusong.
Good morning. Can you hear me? Yes, I'm good. Good morning, Manila. Good morning, Philippines. Good morning, world. Welcome to Education Radio. And again, I'm here with the tax whiz, Mon Abrea, kasi ang dami naming mga tanong about the private schools, the mga resorts. Alam niyo naman, hindi ko masasagot yan without Mon Abrea. Mon, good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Live na live from somewhere out there.
Sorry to disrupt your vacation or holiday.
Yeah. But you know,
you're needed.
Wala naman talagang break when it comes to our advocacy and responsibility to be citizens of this country. So game na game ako lagi, Tia. Thank you for guesting me again.
Salamat, Mon. So, of course, like I said, I cannot answer for the private schools. And as an educator, alam ko naman na private schools need to accredit themselves with DepEd. And of course, their systems are slightly different in terms of how they run their schools, diba? But there are some things they need to comply with na hindi naman sila rin pwede kumala sa DepEd. But in this case, when it comes to taxes, why are we doing this now? And some of the people who ask us, they feel like, do they need to take the toll of this because of the pandemic? Diba? And maybe we need to be able to clarify these issues. But kasi no one really has been talking about the issue on taxes when it comes to schools. And you're the best person to answer this.
Actually, Pia, just to put it in perspective, these are not new taxes or new regulations. It just came about because of the IRR issued by Commissioner Dulay, of course supported by the Department of Finance, in relation to the preferential treatment on the proprietary educational schools and hospitals which are non-profit. Kasi yun yung line sa batas which from 10% ginawang 1%.
Okay. Ito yung sinasabi mong 1%.
Yes, 1%.
Okay.
But apparently, Pia, which also to me, it was a surprise kasi hindi ako lawyer, so I don't really follow Supreme Court decisions unless case ng client ko. Otherwise, why will naman I bother read all the court decisions, diba?
Yeah.
In short, when the IRR was issued, and I'm referring to RR 5-2021, the BIR reiterated the scope or definition of a proprietary educational institutions. And that's where they not inserted but define proprietary, which should be non-profit, and what is non-profit. I think what the public, what our viewers should understand, again, I'm not a lawyer, so lawyers, you can comment down below if you think I am misquoting the Constitution or our tax code. But my understanding as a tax advocate, as an educator, we are an education advocate, Pia. So
Yeah.
I don't think we will ever crucify or prosecute or our own institutions which are supposed to be the partner of the government. Kaya lang yun yung naging I think debate. The non-profit, Pia, is not referring to foundation. The Constitution is actually referring to that the benefits, that the income, the assets should not inure to individuals. The preferential treatment given to educational institution is because they are partners of the government. That these are the core, these are these are in our Constitution that we need to provide education. So therefore, entities, private schools who will endeavor on this will be given preferential treatment if nakalagay yung if that they should not in your benefit, meaning non-profit, meaning hindi sila magbe-benepisyo through excessive dividends or getting extra income outside the traditional education. Kaya nakalagay doon, dapat hindi lalagpas sa 50% yung income na hindi directly related to education. And we know that several institutions endeavored in various investment activities.
That's also true.
Sabi ng batas, dapat hindi lalagpas sa 50%. Pag lumagpas na, you are no longer qualified to this preferential treatment. Pero other than that, in line with the Constitution, sinabi din Pia na dapat limited din yung dividends and asset acquisition or investments. Meaning, tayong dalawa kung gusto nating mag-school at gusto natin yung preferential treatment, we should make sure that this should lead to not so much tuition or that the income will go to reinvestment to the schools para mas maraming mabigyan ng opportunity to study. Hindi para yumaman yung iilan. I think that's how I understood it. Correct if I'm wrong, our lawyer friends, you are free to me because I was bashed for being quiet. But when I gave an article, I was bashed again. Thank you very much for making me popular. But really, I am an educator myself. So I honestly don't think we should be fighting on this. Kasi we have to follow what's in the law. And kawawa din si Commissioner because he was very good and open in all the discussion, but he was just quiet. So parang sinabihan na erroneous, heartless, unethical, illegal. Hindi naman. They were trying to do their job, which is to interpret the law. So,
which is the if part.
Yes. Sa akin lang, Pia, siguro para lang maintindihan din ng ating mga viewers, students, law practitioners. Diba? May tatlong levels kasi eh. Either you are for charity or non-profit ka talaga, meaning charitable institution, exempted ka. Pero ang sabi ng Constitution, para ma-avail mo yung full exemption, dapat exclusively charitable activities operated and ang tawag doon, purposely for charity. Hindi ka dapat mangongolekta ng kahit ano.
You can't go beyond. There's like a limit to what your operations are.
So in short, purely charity para tax-exempt. Kung gusto mo naman ng reduced rate or preferential treatment, may 50%. Hindi dapat lumagpas sa 50% na extracurricular or other income. At wag mong i-declare lahat sa sarili nyo, yung dividends. Hindi pwede kasi nga dapat para sa estudyante, para sa education.
Yeah, not the school you mean.
Yes.
The school.
And siguro Pia, para lang ma-appreciate din ng ating mga practitioners kasi sabi ko nga to my thinking, Pia, may mga law schools tayo, may mga legal counsel yan. How come that they were not able to review the Supreme Court decisions mentioned by BIRDOF and Secretary Roque? I didn't know it. Honestly, to be honest, I didn't know it prior to the discussion of this unethical, erroneous interpretation. And I think even some lawmakers were surprised that I started quoting the Supreme Court kasi nga, I never do that. I don't do that. Ba? Pero meron kasing decision ng Supreme Court, Commission of Internal Revenue versus St. Luke's and Commission of Internal Revenue versus De La Salle University. And that
Okay.
where it was really clarified that the non-profit is not referring to foundation. It's referring to the limitation that the profit should not go to us, should not go to the investors, but should really go to the education and
The students, the learners.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, that's my understanding. If I am wrong, you're free to correct me. But as an advocate, both of tax reform and education, I don't think we should be fighting on this. But thank you, Congressman Salcedo, for heeding to our request to really resolve it. So ngayon, just to update everyone, they decided to come up with a bill, and I think they will prioritize it para i-clarify talaga na i-include yung for-profit private institutions. But then, I am okay with that until 2023 kasi yun lang naman talagang tax relief fee from 10% to 10%, but only until June 30, 2023 as part of the economic recovery program of the government.
Okay,
Pero sana after nun, lang mabuti.
Yeah, maybe you can tell us more about the tax relief part. What is that?
The tax relief is really from the 10% preferential rate given to private schools, proprietary educational institutions which are non-profit. Now I'm very particular, Pia, with the what if, which, and comma. Kasi nag-iiba pala yung ibig sabihin. So, sinabi lang ng CREATE law, which is exactly the reason why the BIR issued RR5, na yung 10% mo in the meantime from July 1, 2020 up to June 30, 2023 magiging 1%. That is temporary in the next 3 years. Yun I think yung naging trigger, Pia, why suddenly the private schools started asking, wait, but parang hindi kami kasama? Ba't yung nilagyan ng non-profit? Yeah, I think that's where it started.
Okay. Yeah. See, it's hard for us to really interpret the law, but that's just not us, That's it, the whole entire public. But then, like you said, there's a Supreme Court decision here, right? And from my understanding, it's based on a law that did not include all the other things that go beyond the 50%. Tama ba ako?
Yes. So, dapat may limit. Kasi pagka na-exceed mo yung 50%, hindi ka na-qualified dun sa preferential rate.
Okay, so ano ba yung mga beyond the 50%?
Yung not related, yung unrelated, Pia.
Unrelated. Okay, unrelated.
Cafeteria, dormitory, sports complex, kapag nagpaparent ka na ng mga facilities, those are unrelated. The related, Pia, is tuition fee, period. So
that's it, tuition fee.
Yeah, anything unrelated to the education, o kaya halimbawa nagkaroon na ng investment sa, diba kasi naman, you cannot naman stop them because if they are private sector and they are investing on anything, they would really maximize the assets. So ang sinabi lang, may limit. Dapat hindi magpas sa 50% yung unrelated sa education.
Right. Okay, so I guess private schools owners now don't really have to worry when it comes to the tuition fee issues, right? So maybe they can be a little bit more calm, because like before, like when I used to run a school, it's but normal for us kasi syempre there's inflation, diba? And we still love to talk about inflation, right? So every year, if there's an increase, we cannot help it because we have to be at par also with inflation rates. I guess that's the easiest way for me to talk about it. And that's kind of normal. People usually understand that. Although on the other hand, they say, oh, tumaas na naman yung tuition. But that's when they say that, that's because we know na we have to, because inflation rates nga, right? So if the schools decide to do this again, like they have no choice but to raise the tuition, that's okay, and they won't have a problem with it. They won't, be parang they won't think this is erroneous anymore or harmful to them.
I think
Ganun ba yun?
I think with the tuition, it's the CHED that more or less have a say on that. And I think also, Pia, this is the first time that tax on schools was tackled. Pero ako, Pia, as an advocate, again, I don't have anything against the schools. We are educators, we are academicians, we are advocates of education. But I think we really need to, part of the reform is to really look into it, di ba? Lagi tinatanong bakit daw yung simbahan exempted. Then let's look into it na abuse ba o hindi. Because if it's enshrined in our constitution, it's either we revise the constitution or we implement it properly. Yun lang naman yun eh.
That's right.
Batiin mo siya or implement mo siya ng tama kasi baka naman na-abuse or hindi nagagamit ng tama. And correction po, kapag ang simbahan nag-invest, natatax po yung investment nila. Especially kapag sa stock market kasi may mga lumalabas, may mga shares din daw ang mga simbahan. It's being taxed because it's subject to final tax. And when they sell property, it's also taxed. Because their exemption is only on income. So if they make other income generating activities, it's being taxed.
Yes. Okay, that sounds fair to me. So that sounds fair to me from at the rate we're going. So if let's say I own a school, but at the same time on the other side I own a dorm where my students can stay, right? Then my dorm will be taxed.
Yes.
And
if it exceeds 50%, it will be taxed on the regular rate. But as long as it's not less than, it does not exceed 50%, you enjoy the preferential rate.
Still.
Yes.
Okay.
And that was reiterated in the RMC issued by Commissioner this week, na talagang times 1% pa rin, both the related and unrelated.
Okay.
As you don't exceed the 50%.
Okay, so it applies to both.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds fair.
If it happens to be your income is all coming from dormitory and rental facilities, you're no longer a school.
That's right.
That's right. Real estate company.
Yeah, that's right. Or real estate, or maybe a tourism.
Diba? Tourist hub ka na pala.
Yeah.
Again,
it makes sense.
Sabi nga, diba, the law may be harsh, but it is the law. But it doesn't need to be harsh. We just need to understand it, comply with it. And if there are seemingly loopholes or gray area, wala namang problem na we clarify it. Kaya lang kasi parang nangyari, BIR was put on the bad light na they very erroneous, very heartless, very unethical considering the times. Trabaho kasi nila yun. So it's really hard for BIR. It was really hard for BIR, and we really applaud Commissioner for being really firm and magnanimous in the entire discussion. Kasi hindi mo siya naringgan na bahala kayo. Wala. He didn't comment. He was just trying, he asked everyone to just implement and discuss and join the discussion sa Congress and even with us and all. So thank you, Commissioner Dulay, for always listening and helping taxpayers and supporting tax reform. So if there is a bill to clarify it, they will support it. Diba?
Yeah.
I mean, they're very open.
They're flexible. Okay. Let's clarify your name also, Mon, because sabi mo nga, the fake news ka. Ang daming fake news talaga. We really have to incorporate this also in our curriculums, right? And that's where we're testing or honing our critical thinking skills. But I guess in this sense, it makes it a little bit harder because we do not know the law.
Yeah.
Right?
Kaya nga when I started asking Commissioner about it and he gave me the court decision, I really took time to read it, ask people, and to really weigh in. Kasi mahirap naman, Pia, just for the sake na makapag-comment tayo.
Yeah.
And some followers, and we want them to be educated. Ayaw naman natin silang magalit o makisawsaw din nang hindi nila naiintindihan. And to be fair, even the association, the schools, reach out to me. Kaya nga sabi ko, ang position ko from the start, Pia, if it is in the law, then we have to give it to the private schools. Kasi as an educator, I support the preferential rate. Kasi may reason eh. I don't think the law will include it kung wala naman, diba? But there was also a limit. Hindi rin siya basta-basta. Naglagay din ng limit. I think that's where we colluded eh. I may limit pala. Ay meron palang definition. So a scope pala siya. Okay.
Okay, what's the relationship with the BIR and the DOF?
Well, kasi mas mataas pa rin ng DOF. And true enough, this was supported by Secretary Dominguez. In fact, he was also the one who reiterated the Supreme Court decision, jurisprudence. Ako talaga, ginugel ko talaga yan, Pia. Kasi talaga, di ba, they started talking about jargon. So, I I was also educated. I also learned in this discourse. So thank you very much for including me in this discussion. Kasi natuto din ako and tinatawanan nga ako ni Commissioner. Sabi niya, hindi ka kasi lawyer. Alam ko po yan, Commissioner. So basta talaga ako basta.
Diba? Pero at least we're learning, diba? Kasama
Even Pia, yung sa Supreme Court decision sa Lasal, it was very clear Sinabi talaga doon na the non-profit means that it will not in your benefit to the owners, to the investors through dividends and assets. Nakalagay talaga doon sa sa Supreme Court decision. So I guess, and even in my article that I've published, and I might also publish another article just to really put it in perspective. Kasi this is not me against you or you against me. Hindi ganun This is our country, and education is really very important. Kapag nahirapan ng private schools, we will also suffer. Diba? Kasi hindi sila kayang lahat i-accommodate ng public school. So it's important that there is really a symbiotic and collaborative coexistence, diba? When it comes to making sure that all our citizens are well educated. So hindi tayo magkaaway dito. We're just talking about the interpretation of the law. I think that's where the difference.
That's where we panic.
May kanya-kanya palang opinion. So sabi ko nga, Pia, I don't want to give an opinion. I just want to share the facts kasi baka lalo ako mabash. Hindi po ako nagmamarunong. I just want to share the facts. And there's Supreme Court decision, there's an RR, Malacanang and you have supported the position of BIR. And BIR, and there was no erroneous interpretation. It was just wrong timing na people realized na, na-violate pala, hindi pala ako qualified. And that's why Congress stepped in. They would legislate a law that will include private schools. But until
that's my next question, diba?
Okay,
like who are in the past, let's say the lawmakers involved in this, I'm sure it was first a bill, diba, before it actually became signed by the president, where hindi pa nasama yung non-preferential. How did this all begin? And now we're here with lawmakers saying, oh, hey, maybe we should include non-preferential.
Alam mo, I'll answer it two ways. First, our lawmakers will hate me for this. It's election season. They jump into it as quickly as they can without realizing that they were the one who legislated the law. They clarified it. That's why I called right away the oversight committee. Sabi ko sa private schools, write the chairs, the Senate, the Congress committee chairs, the oversight committee, meaning the one who legislated it, because they have the power to oversight. Make sure tama ba, may erroneous interpretation ba talaga. But their individual opinion, honestly, doesn't matter. Because they have to decide as a collective body.
Yeah, it's a committee.
That's why the move of Senator Angara is very proactive.
Yeah.
He filed right away a bill that will clarify, include for-profit education, for-profit and non-profit. That is the way to do it. But for you to go public and each one of them will give an opinion, well, it's election season. We don't want to mess up with the learning process. We are all learning here. So what is the point? Alam nyo naman pala na gray area siya dati, hindi sana pinaklarify natin. Or really we did our assignment, our homework, that there were Supreme Court decisions that should have been overruled with a new legislation. Kasi gano'n naman talaga The court will interpret existing. But the moment there's a new law, as long as it is not in conflict with the Constitution, the Supreme Court will not naman protest They will just interpret it the way it was the intent of the law, diba? Sila nga yung final diba? Sila yung final na nagde-decide. But in this case, malinaw pinasa mo yung create law, Pia, just for your appreciation, hindi nila binago yung linya. Exactly, proprietary educational institutions and hospitals which are non-profit. In short, yung Supreme Court decision based on that line will apply kasi hindi mo binago Dapat nilagay mo which are non-profit and for-profit. O hindi na applicable yung Supreme Court decision.
Right.
As is verbatim proprietary educational institutions and hospitals which are non-profit, tapos ang dinagdag mo lang from 10% magiging 1%, which is the create law.
So kasamang hospital
Exactly. So in short, what you are saying is this law tax relief is applicable to what the existing laws and regulations covered, which is non-profit.
Yeah.
Dapat tinanggal mo or inalis mo.
Oo.
Or dinagdagan mo ng purpose.
Dinagdagan.
Yes, kaya for us,
Yes.
erroneous interpretation ni BIR. Hindi kasi hindi sila pwedeng gumawa ng regulation against the Supreme Court decision. Sila naman ang magkakaproblema. Kaya nga ang sabi ko dun sa since I am a non-lawyer, sabi ko, aside from the oversight, ask your legislators to pass a bill already. To remove the gray area or go to court, ipa-TRO nyo. Because
Yun pala yun.
Yeah, you cannot stop BIR because they're doing their job. Go to court, ask the court for a temporary restraining order or to literally invalidate that regulation. Sabihin niyo sa korte, kung mali po si BIR, sabihin niyo na. Because BIR will have no choice but to follow Supreme Court. Again, that is our system. That's democracy. That's our legislative process. And I'm also learning, Tina.
Yeah.
Kaya thank you for this experience.
Yeah, even me. Thank you then.
I'm also
So, Senator Sani Angara made a proactive move in the Senate.
It was the first. As
Yeah.
in, the first time that it came out, he filed a bill right away before other lawmakers started jumping into the controversy.
Mm-hmm. And in this law, it's now, hopefully, it includes for-profit. Am I correct?
Yeah, and that's the job of Congress, Pia, because anything to do with tax should emanate from Congress.
Right.
Kaya, proactive si Sani Angara, si Senator Sani Angara, but Congressman Joey said, was not remiss. He did his job. He convened them right away. Kasi kung hindi
Nice.
niya ginawa yun, lalangawin to. At magte-take effect yung RR5 because it's the power of the commissioner to interpret the tax laws.
That's
But
right.
it's the power of the Supreme Court to make the final decision. That's that's how it is.
That's how it is.
It is what it is. Sabi nga, di ba?
So is this a waiting game at this point? Or it is
Yes.
yeah, it is.
Yes.
So now
No,
we're
so
waiting still.
But we need to make sure nobody, as far as I'm concerned, nobody is opposing to give preferential rate to private schools. Nobody. We're just talking about what is in the law,
The law.
and what Supreme Court decision. Nobody, and kahit ako po, no, I did not say na they don't deserve the preferential rate. No, I'm just saying na I think that was also the intention of the law, Pia, para dapat hindi masyadong mataas ang tuition fee at dapat talaga mabigyan ng pagkakataon lahat makapag-aral, whether public or private, nagbigay ng preferential rate. Kasi nga, the point there is, hindi kayang gawin lahat ng gobyerno to, pero kailangan ibigay sa taong bayan. Kaya merong fully tax exempt, which is yung charity talaga, meron namang preferential, then kapag talagang negosyong-negosyo ka na at marami kang other income, regular rate ka na rin. Sabi
Sounds fair. Sounds fair to me. So now with the Supreme Court, when they receive it, they will just also parang comply.
Yeah. You have to
That's
look
basically it.
Yeah. Agree.
That's basically yeah. Okay. Is it again, I want to say this is not just the schools pala. This is also hospitals.
Yes.
Ano ba yung situation dyan sa hospital?
Sa hospitals naman, Pia, ang question nila is, lahat ba kasali? Kasi di ba, there are clinics, there are yung mga consultation, etc. Now, we wait for clarification on that. Kasi ako personally, I don't know. Kasi I think those who are accredited as hospitals enjoying the 10% preferential, sila lang din dapat yung mag-enjoy ng 1%. Again, we wait how it will be implemented or the clarification or implementing rules or ang tawag dito RMC on that, the Revenue Memorandum Circular. Kasi we really have to rely on facts. Hindi tayo pwedeng puro opinion or ranting, ha? It won't help our country, schools or hospitals. Especially in this pandemic. It's waste of energy na magtalo-talo tayo. Although I must admit, the schools really did everything to reach out to the commissioner. They wrote letters and the commissioner acknowledged that he replied also in writing. Ang sabi lang niya, since there's a Supreme Court decision, I'll quote him. I think na talagang naging constraint niya. He's constrained to approve any request because of the Supreme Court decision.
Yes.
I think that puts an end to it. The Supreme Court decision. Kaya if the Supreme Court will tell the commissioner, no, Mr. Commissioner, include the for-profit school, then the commissioner will just follow. Or if this law will be passed, according to Senator Angara and Congressman Salceda, then the BIR will have no choice but to implement or include for profit. Ganun lang yun eh.
Nice one. Mabilis naman sila with Senator Angara and then Congressman Salceda. It's happening. We just have to wait.
It is what it is. And
It is what it is. Yeah. Okay, let's just pause for a break. We'll be right back here in Education Radio. Stay tuned.
Filipino heroism, ingenuity, marksmanship, tatak saludo kami. Isang pagkilala sa galing ng mamamayang Pilipino, hatid ay serbisyo saan man sa mundo. Natatanging kwento ng mga overseas Filipino workers, OFW advocates, legal luminaries, educators, scientists, and inventors. Mga piling Pilipinong patuloy na nag-aangat sa pagtingin at pagkilala ng sambayanan. Tatak saludo kami. Pinangungunahan ni Johnny Gomez. Tatak saludo kami. Tuwing araw ng Sabado mula alas 2 hanggang alas 3 ng hapon. Mapapanood at mapapakinggan sa DZRJ 8:10 AM sa Radyo Bandido TV, Sky Cable Channel 224, TV Plus boxes at free to air. Simulcast live sa www.facebook.com/DZRJ 8:10 AM at sa YouTube RJAM News.
Be enlightened with inspiring stories. Interesting biblical features. And insightful interviews with the pillars of our Catholic faith. Power to Unite with Elvira.
Education Radio, hosted by Pia Morato, is on Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Teleradio Bandido, Channel 224 Sky Cable, TV Plus boxes, digital free-to-air Channel 29, Facebook.com/DZRJ 8:10 a.m., and YouTube channel RJAM News. This brings service to all educators and learners of every age. The program guests include secretaries, dignitaries, ambassadors, lawmakers, professors, volunteers, and heroes, all dedicated to contribute to this valuable advocacy. We take the streets to the classroom and the classroom to the streets.
Okay, we're back here on Education Radio. So hopefully...
Yeah, I have a request.
Go.
Binrem talaga kita. I
Sure.
was asked to read what was in the law para
Go.
daw magulo daw mag-explain. So non-profit, as used in the definition of proprietary educational institution and proprietary hospitals, means non-profit. Non-profit means that no income or asset accrues to or benefits any member or specific person to the institution's purposes and all its activities conducted not for profit. So, yun yung sinabi. Dapat hindi magbe-benefit si Pia at Simon.
Yeah.
Yun yung
Ganon.
sabihin nung non-profit. So, yun, just to
Okay.
clarify, because there are those listening to us, nalito daw sila dun sa sinasabi kong no dividends or should not inure to the benefit of the owners.
Of
yun
the
po ang
owners.
Yes, yun po yung mismong nakalagay sa batas.
Kaya ngayon, i-include na nila yung for profit.
That's
Yan.
the definition.
That is the yes. Okay,
Alam mo,
we get that.
thank you,
We get that.
We are all learning. Thank you. We are all learning here.
Yeah, even me. Grabe. I mean, taxes, who would have thought like we'd come to this, right, with the issues on private schools. But if you look at it on the other hand, it's a good thing, because like you said, we have to be active participants also, right? So we have to speak out. Syempre naman, we can't jump into conclusions because that's what makes us wrong. When we start jumping into the conclusions, especially when we're confused, diba? But it's good to speak up. At the same time, learn, diba? Kung ano ba talaga nangyayari dito. So that something can be done. And here we are with a senator and a congressman who are being proactive about it. And again, let's just wait. At least something is being done.
Saka Pia, I think one lesson here then is the more that we have to be involved on legislation. Kasi di ba, sometimes we just allow them to argue in Congress, in Senate. We don't care. But once the law is implemented, we complain.
Yeah.
That's why we all have to be educated, to be informed, and sabi nga ni Pia, to be part of the process, to be involved. Kasi otherwise, tayo din yung maiipit o mahihirapan in the long run because the law are there to protect and help us. But if we don't understand, if we don't benefit or avail of the benefits, then sayang din siya. So again, education radio is really for those things.
I'm laughing because if you will remember, Mon, in 2015 we were saying, my gosh, people have to do their part. They have to be active participants. Well, here they are. Right?
Now we're calling on even schools. Now schools, please let us all be proactive. We're not enemies here. We don't need to fight. Let's all be proactive.
Yes, that's the best. So
Okay.
from schools, we have to jump into the issues of resorts. Okay, resorts.
Yan
Ikaw
na.
nga sinabi mo sa akin, pati houses, condos, o ganyan. Let's jump into that now. We talked about it the last time, di ba? Where you can actually be part of like an owner somewhat, right? But before we get into this, the resorts kasi we still hear them say, oh, how will we operate? I'm so, dehado na ako. May lockdown, may ganyan, and I can't seem to jumpstart, and naubos na pera ko. All these things, right?
I'll start with the pera. If you are
the pera.
into resort or tourism-related industry or companies, the DTI was given 10 billion financial assistance budget. And according to Secretary, to our good Secretary Mon Lopez, nasa 3+ billion pa lang yung na-avail, Pia. So we still have 6 billion plus available. And mainly po, ito po ay ang priority po ay yung mga nasa tourism-related resorts, hotels, bed and breakfast, yung mga any outdoor activities na lahat na lockdown or naapektuhan na mainly nung quarantine. So please do visit SB Corporation. All the process, application approval, and fund transfer, everything online.
Yeah.
And, they don't require so much, no collateral, no interest, with 1 year, 1 year palugit bago ka magbayad. Imagine.
Okay, 1 year to pay, parang ganyan.
No, 1 year before you start paying.
Before you start paying.
Diba? Moratorium,
okay.
1 year moratorium. Bago ka magsimula magbayad. Imagine that, it's really help that the government is giving to us through DTI and SB Corp. Just Google or look at the website of SB Corp. All the application process, review, approval, and fund transfer, automatic fund transfer of your loan, no interest, no collateral, and with 1 year moratorium before you.
We talked about this the last time.
So we have to reiterate kasi alam ko marami pa rin nagrereklamo or malungkot dahil wala nang puhunan, wala pa rin kita. So there are assistance available to us.
And again, we'll mention there's 10 billion.
Yeah,
10 billion allotted to this and only 3 billion.
Mas pa lang ang na-avail. Di pa kasi ako nag-apply eh. Mamaya mag-apply ako.
Ako rin. Niisip ko, baka parang gagawin.
It's for everyone who's into business. So might as well really consider that. Anyway, I just need to mention that.
No, that's a good mention.
Yeah.
For the other Pokemon, Secretary Mon.
Keep helping him because he's really doing a great job and a lot of things for our MSME. So thank you, Secretary Mon.
Thank you, Sec Mon. And of course, a part of that, I have to include kasi with these resorts, okay, so that's one thing, the pera part. But then I know there's also like this point-to-point eh. I don't know what, I can't fully define it, but then I think you have to register. Is it also with the DTI and the Department of Tourism, where you have like a point-to-point registration of where the people will come in, diba, and say that they're coming from this point and going to your point.
Yes, I think Pia, in most LGUs, especially yung mga islands, meron na silang mga QR code or online yung process.
Yeah.
Before you book, make sure na verify niyo muna kung ano yung health protocols or kung ang swab test ba is on-site or before you fly. para hindi kayo magka-problem. Kasi kawawa din yung resort kung mag-demand kayo ng refund, kayo pala yung nagka-problema sa protocol or requirement. So, yun lang. And I think NCR Plus are allowed already to move.
Yeah.
But you have to make sure. I think ito din, Pia, yung gusto nila ipa-standardize kasi some LGUs have stricter health protocols. So, sana ma-standardize kasi kawawa din yung mga travel agency or yung mga travelers kung ang experience nila sa Boracay iba pala pagdating sa Palawan or iba pala pagka sa Cebu or ano. So, again, we have to take responsibility, do our homework before we enjoy and splurge into this summer pahabol na because I think everyone is so gigil na to go out, diba? Ako
Yeah.
So, you just have to observe protocols para hindi tayo magka-problem at hindi din tayo makadagdag.
Planning yan. Planning talaga yan.
Planning
But
talaga.
do you think now, okay, considering we have that point-to-point planning, can the LGUs also help with this 10 billion fund?
Yeah, I think they should.
I think they should eh.
They should promote it, especially yung mga LGUs na talagang tourism, ang tawag doon, hotspot talaga. Kasi sila yung talagang dapat tulungan or gustong tulungan nitong batas na to. So, if the LGUs won't even mention it, syempre, diba, marami tayong mga kababayan na natatakot or na nahihiya that they won't even check, even if it's there. So, I hope if you are listening to us, visit SB Corp now. I assure you, it's seamless. It's smooth like butter. Mabilis lang yan.
And after the show, it's what I'm going to do.
Exactly, Pia.
You and me, Mo.
Tag me if you got your loan approved because Secretary Mon says it's easy. At least 50,000 up to 500,000 is being loaned. So, and even more, depende din kasi dun sa size capacity ng mga resorts or yung mga businesses. So, please do take advantage of it. But going back, yung sabi nga natin, Pia, dun sa mga resorts na nag-Airbnb or other digital platforms. Kasi diba that your question before was, should they be registered? Are they required to register? Isn't it? You were asking about. Yeah. Yes, there is no need for a new law because they are covered by the existing law na kapag nagparenta ka, nagpalis ka ng properties, whether swimming pool, bahay, kwarto, you have to be registered. But don't forget that there are exemptions na kapag hindi pa naman lagpas sa 3 million yung initial capital mo, excluding the building, it's really more of the operating assets. You can avail of the income tax exemption through Barangay Micro Business Enterprise. And kapag hindi lumagpas sa 3 million yung annual sales mo, pwede ka namang optional 8% lang. So it's less taxing. So medyo reduced rate na siya, di ba? 8% kumpara doon sa maraming babayaran. At kung hindi pa naman nag-ooperate or wala namang kinita, you just have to file and it's online na. You can file and pay online. So hindi na issue o hindi na dapat problem kung may quarantine o wala because everything can be done. Even registration, Pia, BIR already launched last week the online registration. So just visit bir.gov.ph. We have to really salute Commissioner Dulay and all the BIR.
He's making it easier for everybody.
Deputy Arnel, Cecil, and everyone else, Asir, Tess, and everyone who's really working on this. Imagine mo online business registration. Meron na ring chatbot 24/7, so you can ask anything sa BIR website. May magpa-pop up. Baka ikaw yung model doon kasi babaeng
wait sandali I was going to tell you nga something. Baka gusto kong, may naisip ako parang gusto kong i-caravan ka ulit sa mga sa mga probinsya, 'di ba, na para yung mga LGUs. Naisip ko lang tanungin natin si Sec Monden na baka kasi tingin ko talaga ang LGU sa mga probinsya kailangan tumulong sa atin dito kasi yung mga resorts doon or even the real estate people there that are trying to have their places rented, it's like they don't know what to do. But this gap kasi is really an information campaign and it needs to start, for me, I think you agree, with the LGU also. Tulungan nila yung mga tao doon, di ba?
Everyone
wants yung caravan mo doon, Pokemon.
Everyone wants to make a living. Everyone wants to generate profit, cover their losses, recover, bounce back. So sana hindi tayo matakot sa taxes kasi there are a lot of exemptions for mga options naman for us to enjoy para hindi muna tayo magka-problema or mabigatan sa tax. But as always, I say this, Pia, we need to educate ourselves because the provisions, the letters of the law won't walk to us or run to us. We need to check on it. We need to ask. We need to validate. We need to go to our government agency, to our partners to make sure na ma-avail natin yung mga dapat nating ma-avail as practitioners, as MSMEs, as startups, because it's all there. Tulad nitong financial assistance ni DTI, sila na mismo yung nananawagan, mag-apply kayo. And it's been how many months, Pia? Andun pa rin, natutulog pa rin yung...
natutulog.
So imagine that, and DTI is doing everything, and still, andun pa rin, konti pa rin yung nag-a-apply. So I hope those who are listening, kung kayo po ay may business, kasi simula pa lang, nalugi, nagsara, especially...
Or kung gusto ko magsimula, pwede rin?
Kung magsimula or mag-expand, you can go to SB Corp. Yes, even yung magsimula, Pia, because SB Corp is really for small businesses. It's really for companies. So, magsimula, magbukas ulit, mag-expand, you can go to SB Corp. And most especially, yung tourism-related, kasi kayo talaga yung nganga or talagang sarado the whole time. So, please do take advantage. No interest, no collateral, and may 1 year before you start paying. 1 year moratorium or pahinga mo, palugit bago kayo bayad. It's really everything in our favor. So,
Ako talaga, Mona. After the show, I'm telling you.
Oh, go. No, ako, dami ko sinasabihan kasi diba may show din kami with DTI, yung magandang kabuhayan. We always remind them, especially mga OFWs na nagsimula ng business, nag-invest, tapos bigla nag-lockdown, syempre, di ba? Talagang bagsak yung
Grabe.
Please do take advantage of this kasi hindi na kayo makakahanap ng iba pang financial assistance as flexible, as generous as this one. No interest, no collateral, 1 year before you start paying. Hindi
Dadalhin kita sa probinsya ko, Mon.
Tara na, let's go. So yun, that's a good news to everyone. And wag matakot mag-register. Yes, we are all required, kahit isa, 10, maliit o malaki yung pinarerentahan. We are required, and I think we owe it to our parokyano, to our clients that we are, especially, in fact, ang isa-suggest ko nga, Pia, kay Congressman Salceda, is to help na BIR if we can craft a regulation to require na lang Airbnb and digital platforms to ask for registration documents para lang ma-encourage sila na yung mga nagpapa-rent online are also registered. Kasi hindi naman porket registered ka, magbabayad ka ng tax. I keep repeating that. It's not because you're registered, you automatically pay taxes. Especially kung mababa pa yung kita or yung turnover at maliit lang yung puhunan, you are given options na meron din ng exemption or reduced rate.
In other words, huwag kayong matakot mag-online. Sabihin yung kung sino kayo, palagay niyo yung pangalan niyo kasi hindi kayo matatax.
Yeah.
Diba?
So please do. Again, you can go to BIR website. May Revy. May magpa-pop up na beautiful Miss Nisa girl. I think si Pia yung inspiration doon. Pangalan niya Revy. Tapos you can ask her 24/7 or you can also download our mobile app, TaxSwiss PH, accredited by BIR. Free din si TaxSwiss. Ako naman na magre-reply sa inyo. So may babae, may lalaki. Mamili kayo kung ano gusto nyo. It's all there. Let's just educate ourselves. At the end of the day, we are responsible with what will happen to our business, to our future. So let's not blame the government or COVID. Let's do everything we can, not just to survive, but to thrive and to continue doing what we are passionate about.
May opportunity sa crisis, people. Let's take advantage.
I just want to share yesterday then, at Thursday, Friday then, I sat as a panelist doon sa OFW program ng DOST. Wow, amazing. Ang tinulungan ko is yung mga OFWs na nagsimula ng business sa Region 6, diba? Yung Guimaras. Grabe yung mga businesses nila and susuportahan sila ng DOST and DTI. So, thank you very much. Congratulations. Yeah, isa din yan sa advocacy natin. Kasi,
Oo naman, talaga.
So,
ang dami mo nang caravan abroad para sa kanila.
Naging zombie na. Zombie na po. Ay, speaking of, June 27 po, meron
Talaga?
Attaché Georgie Dinsay. Then we'll have Tokyo, then Canada. We're doing another round of roadshow, pero puro Zoom muna. Kaya sana makalipad na tayo kasi alam mo namang isa yan sa aking
Lilipad na tayo, Mon. And okay, pwede ko bang ipasok yung one-man corporation dito?
Yes, of course. Ito naman ang tanong dyan, Pia. Tinanong din sa akin ng OFW yan last time. Sabi nila, Mon, when do we consider the one-person corporation from being a sole proprietor, or should we register right away one-person corporation instead of a sole proprietor? Ang sagot ko po, simple lang. Depende po sa kita at yaman nyo. Ibig sabihin, kung below 3 million pa ang puhunan, wala pang 8 million ang projected net income, you don't need to rush. Muna, parang incubation or ang tawag doon, parang daycare muna. Sole proprietor muna. Pero kapag 8 million, 15 million above net income, ang pinag-usapan natin, pag ganun nakalaki ang net income, it's best to consider one-person corporation for one basic reason. Mas mababa ang income tax ng corporation. May 20% or 25% versus sa train law po, may 35% ultra-rich. Naalala mo, Pia, yung kinapprotesta ko na 35%, ay pinoprotesta ko pa rin po siya. Attention, Senator Pia, Senator Angara, Congressman Joyce Salceda, hindi po ako yung ultra-rich. Ako lang po yung representative ng mga tatamaan. Kasi with the 35% rate, Pia, mas may tax advantage ngayon yung corporation kung big earner ka na. So again, hindi ko kayo discriminate, but this is what it is. Pag maliit pa ang kita, maliit pa ang business, be happy under DTI, sole proprietor. But the moment you breach that 8 million net income, pagdating ng 15 million, 500,000 na yung tax advantage ng corporation, yung savings mo. So if you stay as a sole proprietor, mas malaki ng babayaran mo income tax. But if you incorporate it, makakatipid ka starting with 500,000 tax savings. Guaranteed. Nice. You can check my article sa Business World, Tax Guide on Create Law. I did the comparative computation dahil ako po ay teacher talaga at feeling mathematician. So may I complete
ako. Kasi mahilig sa math.
Nakita ko talaga magkano yung tax savings mo as you grow your net income, as you increase your net income. So ang sagot, pag mas mayaman, mas malaki ang kita, one-person corporation. Pag ka nagsimula pa lang maliit pa, self-employed, sole proprietor, be happy with that. Kasi ang BMBE po, walang corporation or individual. Either or. Pwede kang corporation, pwede kang individual. You can avail the BMBE provided hindi lalagpas sa 3 million ang total assets mo.
Nice. Okay.
We have options.
We have options. Okay, sa houses, sa condos, the last time you said na there's this mechanism or there's this way where you can be part of like this system with the condos, like you're almost like an owner. Yan yung REIT or Real Estate and Investment Trust Fund. Ito yung bagong batas na meron na mga nagpapa-APO ng mga corporations. I think ang pinakauna sila Ayala, wherein instead of buying condos at ipaparenta mo lang din naman, especially for OFWs, or magpapagawa ka ng apartment, 3-door apartment, without you realizing that you need to maintain it, that you need to manage it, that you don't have time for it. Oh my gosh! Na-encourage ka mag-invest without you realizing it will eat much of your time. PS sa trabaho nating dalawa, baka kahit magwalis doon, hindi na natin magawa. So, in short, if you don't have somebody to manage it, if you cannot manage it, you have another option. You will make the same income but through shares. So you can buy shares of REIT corporations which are now available in the Philippine stock market. Ang unang-una is the Ayala. So just check kung ano yung mga REIT companies. Again, ano ibig sabihin ng REIT? Sila yung mga corporations na nagkaroon ng IPO na nag-manage ng mga condos, ng mga apartments, ng mga properties, pinarerentahan, ay instead na ikaw yung may-ari nung condo, may-ari ka ng shares ng corporation na may-ari ng mga condo apartment na nagpaparent. So you get your income as regular as nagpapaupa ka but through dividends. So nice.
Again, look into that REIT, and that's another option that we can all avail. So again, at the end of the day, educate ourselves, know our options. That will allow us to make better choices or better decisions.
What about houses? Is there anything?
Well, sa VAT, alam mo, si Pia, talagang iniintriga ako yung sa VAT exemption ng housing. in-increase na po siya. I think the only problem was late na release yung regulation. So 3.199200 na po ang VAT exempt na threshold ng residential houses, Pia. Provided hindi ka tindera ng bahay. Meaning,
Okay.
buy and sell. So halimbawa, if Pia decides to sell her property, hindi lumagpas ng 3,199,200, 3.199 million. VAT exempt pa siya. That is under train law ha, kasi binigyan ng presidente yung proposal sa create law na yung 2.5 VAT threshold itaas sa 4.2. Ang sabi ng presidente, redundant na kasi may train law na every 3 years automatic i-increase yung threshold. Kaya nag-release si BIR effective January this year, which is the third automatically after 3 years ng effectivity ng train law, dapat i-increase na yung threshold. So from 2.5, tinaas na nila sa 3.199. Yun po ang bagong VAT threshold. In short, ano ibig sabihin nun? Pag nagbenta tayo ng property natin, hindi tayo real estate broker ha, nagbenta tayo ng property natin, VAT exempt siya if it will not exceed 3.199 million pesos. Ayan!
Nice mo. Ng sitwasyon, they may be outside of the country, but they're like they houses, I'm sure. Yeah.
To our OFWs, and the most important thing, especially to our OFWs, Malacanang already confirmed that the president will sign the extension of the estate tax amnesty. Nag-expire na po siya nung Monday, but the bill was submitted to Malacanang last Wednesday. Kaya mali din ako kasi ang sabi ko, sana pirmahan na ni Presidente last Monday, yun ang sabi ko kasi deadline. Hindi pa pala sinasabit ng Congress. May perma. So, since Malacanang said that it will be extended, so to all our OFWs na may mga properties dito na from 20% estate tax down to 6%, and the valuation, time of death. So kung namatay po yung deceased loved ones natin 10 years, 20 years ago, yung valuation 10 years, 20 years ago. Pero ang rate 6% at waive lahat ng interest penalties. At ang pinakabago, not bago, isa sa clarification na ginawa, pwedeng magpa-approve kay commissioner para withdrawin yung pera nung namatay so that you can use it to pay estate tax.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Yes, di ba? Kung matagal na po yan nakaipit dyan, hindi nyo matransfer yung property, hindi nyo ma-withdraw yung pera. Now, I'm telling you, you can just write the commissioner approval, part of the estate tax amnesty. The commissioner can grant withdrawal of the amount to use to pay estate tax, to avail of the estate tax amnesty. Bum, bum, bum.
Good one. I like that.
Yes.
That's incentive also for our OFWs to come home, diba? And maybe start over if they want to start over, diba?
I agree. So again, there are a lot of good things happening. There are a lot of reforms. There are a lot of developments. But we need to educate ourselves. We need to be part of it. We need to avail it. It won't walk to us or it won't knock on our door. Diba sabi nga nila, if the opportunity is not there, create opportunities. But there are options already around us. There are opportunities already. So it's a matter of us knowing which one we would like to take advantage. So I guess, Pia, with everything that we have discussed today, from private schools, hospitals, sa mga resorts, and now sa ating mga OFWs, I think the lesson really there is to really know our rights and responsibilities or obligations, because the government cannot really do everything for us.
No, I keep saying that too, Pogimon. I keep saying that in all my articles, the government cannot do it all on their own. I mean, we have to do our parts also. Meron na nga tayong ease of doing business, hindi ba?
Diba?
Sa parte na to niyan, di ba?
In fact, si Director General Jeremiah Belhica memo already. Tama ba memo? Baka magalit yung mga mayor. A reminder to all LGUs, what is in our ease of doing business, how that we need to streamline, automate, at deadline na po that we need to comply to this ease of doing business. So hindi lang po national, pati local. In short, all government agencies, we need to make sure na ma-improve yung experience ng ating mga kababayan when it comes to dealing with our government.
Alam mo, maganda to kasi naiisip ko rin ng mga pwedeng mangyari sa federalism, but that's another topic po naman. Diba? But in a way, you are challenging also the local government units to really step up
Yes,
when it
step
comes to promoting it. This is promoting your own city or your own province when you
to
do
be more
something.
competitive. They need to really
Yes.
compete with other cities para they attract more local and foreign tourists and more investors, di ba? Kaya nga
Yeah.
maganda din sa maganda din part of the Create din, Pia, just to mention, is yung pagbibigay ng mga tax incentives pag nag-relocate kayo outside the NCR, meaning usual business district. So merong tax incentive, di ba? So that was also included in the Create law. So it's not true na tinanggal yung mga incentives. Ginawa lang mas program, time-bound, and result-driven talaga. So it's only to make us, all the citizens, benefit from the incentives granted to these companies. Kailangan talaga may employment, may investments, may development dun sa mga areas kung saan sila nabigyan ng tax incentives. Which I think good. Otherwise,
I think.
incentives, hindi lang sila nagbayad, wala naman tayong pinakinabangan. So again, for every incentive that the government extends, dapat may benefits sa taong bayan, may benefits sa citizens.
True that. Thank you, Pogimon. Last words na, and invite everyone. Gusto ko sumali dyan sa mga Tokyo caravans mo. I want to learn also.
Yeah, let's work on that. I'm really excited, and I'm always happy to engage with our OFWs. To all our listeners, I always say this: we may not be able to understand everything, but hindi po masama magtanong. And it's a matter of one click away na lang tayo, diba? There are a lot of webinars, DTI, sa BIR. And every other Monday po, I host a show for DTI and BIR. So on Monday, Magandang Kabuhayan with Yusek Ruth Castello of the Consumer Protection Group. Ayan, usapang consumer rights.
Yeah. I watch her too.
Yeah, so that's on Monday 9 a.m. Then in the afternoon, 3 p.m., BIR in action. Ito po, medyo seryosong usapan. Run After Tax Evaders Program ng BIR. Paano ba maiwasan na makasuhan tayo ng BIR o magka-problema sa BIR? So ang guest ko naman po ay si Sir James Roldan. Siya yung laging nasa news na nagsasampa sa DOJ ng tax evasion case. So again, ang maganda dito is we talk to them not as somebody who will prosecute or run after us. We talk to them as a public servant. We talk to them as somebody who should explain to us ano yung rights natin, ano yung dapat natin gawin para hindi tayo matakot or mapahamak. So I hope you can watch our shows on Monday kasi we do this not for the sake na may mag-like or may mag-view, for the sake na may matutunan kayo. So
This
whether
is an education, people.
exactly, as long as may makapanood, even the replay, and that's already worth our time. So I hope you can check it out on Monday, and I continue to publish articles weekly, daily. Just visit our social media and download TaxWiz PH. It's free. You can chat with us. You can compute your taxes, check the deadlines, and whatever you need to know about taxes. So TaxWiz PH, mobile app, may YouTube din, may social media. But the mobile app really is in partnership with BIR para meron na rin silang mobile app, TIN verification app. You can verify your TIN aside kay Revy na chatbot nila sa website. Grabe si BIR, yung digital transformation niya, sobrang bilis.
Diba?
Congratulations.
Wow, we're here. Congratulations.
And thank you, Pia, for always supporting our advocacy and
Always.
giving me opportunity to explain things which I also need to understand fully.
Same, you and me. Thank you so much, Mon, the Tax Whiz. Till the next time, okay? Let's encourage the young people also to learn. That's our next project. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Have a good weekend.